Hello. So, a student recently saw this guitar of mine, and he noticed that I whined. It's a tremolo, it's an original Edge tremolo equipped Floyd Rose guitar. And he noticed that I have the ball ends on this side of the guitar. And he looked at it and he was like, huh, I never thought of doing it that way, because what most people do is they clip the ball ends because they think they have to install or switch strings on a tremolo equipped Floyd Rose guitar. Because on a tremolo guitar, the strings are locked here, locked down here and here, so there's no way you can fit a ball end of a string in that little cavity there. Doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's not big enough. So they think like, oh shit, I gotta clip it, which you don't have to do. You just feed it in the other way, which I'm gonna show you in a second. The only guitar, because see, before I say that, what ends up happening, if you clip the ends, of course you can clean it up better than what I did on the gem here, but you see you always have little pieces of string sticking out if you clip the ball ends, right? Which will poke your fingers and ruin your git bags. And I also never liked the look. Like the E string here, it's clipped pretty tight. On the G, you can see it sticking out a little. This will really poke your finger. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Some people don't like the look of the ball ends. I, like on this JS1 here, I have most of my guitars that have tremolos set up like that. I don't mind the look, and it's much easier. I don't have to clip the ball ends, because why would I? I don't have to. The only guitar where you have to do it differently is on this one, which is actually the guitar I was going to use as an example on how to switch strings on a tremolo equipped guitar. This is a 1987 Vandenberg by PV, but this guitar has a Kaler tremolo, and as you can see, the ball ends go through the back. So if I feed it here, it doesn't make any sense because the ball end stops the string from going through here. So it's a different guitar, because you don't clip them down, you don't tighten them down here, you screw them tight here, which it needs the ball end so the string doesn't go through. Which it's funny though, I was going to use this guitar because see, I just don't like the look and it pokes my fingers. There you go. So I wasn't going to use the gem because I really don't want to touch it, because it's a very delicate and brittle finish, and it's quite rare, as you may know, but it's the only guitar that I have that doesn't have the ball ends fed through the other side, because even this Frankenstrat has it like that. See, ball ends on the other side, because I don't mind the look. Now this is a Floyd Rose. It's a little bit different than the original Edge, but it also clamps them down here, so you can't fit the ball end in here. That only works on the Vandenberg, which is a Kaler, not a Floyd Rose. So if we take this gem, which I'm really careful not to damage it because it's in really good shape. What you need to change strings, and this is also an original. No, that's a low pro Edge. I'm sorry, that's a low pro Edge tremolo, Floyd Rose. What you need to change strings on your tremolo equipped guitar is one of these things. It's an Allen wrench, a truss rod, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have one, they come in different sizes. So for tremolos, the clamping down these things here, screwing them down to lock the strings down, it's a 3mm. They usually sell them in sets, so you get a 2.5mm and a 3mm. The 3mm is for these, and the 2.5 is for the saddle lockdown and intonation screws. They're a little bit smaller. So anyway, what you need is that truss rod. Now, it's always a little problem because you always want to have it, because, you know, when it's locked, once it's locked down, the tuners really don't work because the strings are locked down. So for tuning stability. But you can't use the main tuners anymore, but you use the fine tuners, see? Some people actually don't know that. When it's locked down, you tune the guitar using the fine tuners. Now, eventually you run out of space. And when the guitar's out of tune and you run out of space, then you have to unlock the tremolo and give it a little more room. to be able to fine tune them again. And you insert the Allen wrench in the back here, and you unscrew it, and that way the strings comes out here. See? So that's the 2 points where the strings are locked down. So you need an Allen wrench, 3mm. It's good to have like a little collection of different sizes anyway for different purposes. String winder comes in handy, and a wire cutter, cut the string. So, and then of course a tuner, which I'm going to use. I'm only going to do the low E string for the purposes of this video. Clip-on tuner, clips on the headstock, or any other tuner, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's a tuner, right? Which I can't fit on here because in the back I have, see, some people do that. I wouldn't do that anymore because you have to drill a hole in the headstock, but you have your Allen keys ready all the time. But anyway, I'm going to use a different tuner. So, you take your wrench, you can insert it in the little screw here, and you just go righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, loosey to the left, and then you can unwind the string and release the tension. I hope you can see it in the video, but I think you can. I'm just trying to not damage my gem. So, and then you can, once it's unwound enough, which you can also use this for, which I didn't use now, you'll take out the string and here, and then you feed it through here. I always unscrew it as much as I need to be able to take that little part out and remember where I sit it, so I find it. So this is loose, and then we flip the camera, or not. And then you put the Allen key in the back here, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You unscrew it just a little bit. You see this thing, this little part goes back, retracts, just as much as you can take out that string, space you need until you can take out that string. So, and here's that string, see? No ball end, which if you don't like the look, clip them, but like I said, you don't have to. So this is a perfectly fine and brand new 42 out of a 9 set low E string. So in that case, I'm going to feed it like I showed you with the ball end from the other side. Now, like I said, you can clip it, do whatever you want. So anyway, I don't know, it's a new phone, whatever. So you feed it in the hole, and then you feed it through here. I'm doing this with one hand, and see the ball end keeps the string from going all the way through, and it stops the string right there, see? So you feed it underneath, into the little slot, pull it tight, and then you end up here. And you're gonna clip the string. Now, clipping the string, I always use the Fender Stratocaster rule. It's just easy to remember. 2 tuning pegs up, so as far as the length goes. So I pull it back. It's 1 peg, 2 pegs here, and that's the length that I want. I leave it like that. And then take my wire cutter, and where the string meets the cavity of the tremolo of the edge, in this low pro edge in this case, I'm sorry. See? And just clip it. And then I take the end of that string, I pull the string tight again, taking all the slack, and I feed it into that little hole. And it sits in there. Now you have to make sure you don't lose this little black part, see, or little black squares, whatever you want to call them. Don't lose those. They can fall out. So it's not a part you want to replace. I sure don't. So you take the Allen wrench, righty tighty lefty loosey, put it in here. Oh, see, that's not what I want to do on this guitar. And then you tighten the screw. And then you tighten it with the wrench until it's all snug. You don't have to over tighten it. Just tight enough. I'm doing this one-handed because whatever. So see, here's a string in here. And then there's a string in here. And the ball end keeps it from slipping out, so I didn't clip it. And all I have to do now is take this, and as I always tell my students, away from you, which is counterclockwise, it raises the pitch, so you wind the string, and towards you, it lowers the string. So I'm going to use two hands now because I want to cut out the slack. You use your right hand. Let me see if I can do this. I use a flask to have the phone, because I'm so professional, right? So you take out the slack, you hold it down a little bit, and then you just wind it. And then let's see how many windings I get. And string winders come in handy because why work so hard, right? So yeah, there you go. So, when you look at this, it has, where am I? Focus. It has about two and a half windings, which I like. Perfect. It looks very neat, and you can see the ball. So this is how you do it. Now the string's on. It's in here, tightened down here. This is the fine tuner, right? So what you do now is you use whatever tuner, you tune this to pitch. I also stretch the strings. That's a whole different topic. Even on tremolo equipped guitars, not just on old school Stratocasters, but whatever. Stretch out the string, and then you wind it to pitch, and you leave yourself enough room. See, this one's all the way to the bottom, doesn't have enough room to fine tune it. I put it in somewhere in the middle, because you know, it goes up, lowers the pitch, and when you screw it down, it tightens, it raises the pitch. So I choose like halfway, and do all of them the same, and then I tune the string to pitch, and then I tighten it back down, use this part, and pop it back in here, and screw it down tight, and then I check the tuning, and I use a fine tuner to tune it to pitch, and I do this with all 6 strings. So there you go. So here you have, this is actually pretty nice, not that much string sticking out that can poke your finger or ruin your gig bag. This one sticks out more. B strings and G strings and E strings are evil. They're really sharp. I bled more than once. And see, if you don't mind that look of the ball and being here, you don't have to clip it. So I hope that helps you. Anyway, this is how you change strings on a Floyd Rose guitar, which for this example I used my lovely 1991 Ibanez Gem green multicolor. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, or if you got something out of it, like and subscribe. Yeah. There you have it. All right. Bye.